Howdy, y'all. It's your boy TrentoniousSmaximus. See, today I'm going to talk to you about the weather while also doing my oil change. I don't have anything to catch my oil in, so I have a Publix scentless, no wait, that is scented, scoopable cat litter container. And I'm going to cut the top out of it and catch my oil with this. If you live in Alabama, this is nothing new, but we just love hearing about it. And if you aren't from Alabama, well, this will just be nothing short of educational for you. About 7 o'clock at night, and it's still hot as shit. It's been hot as shit today. Cooling down a little bit. It's getting about hot as shit out here. The mosquitoes are eating me alive as we speak. We're going to start with the first season of the year in Alabama, and that is spring. Spring in Alabama lasts a little bit longer than the shortest season in Alabama. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Spring is full of allergies. You get about 2 days where it feels pretty nice, where it's not cold, but it's not hot as shit. But 2 days later, it's hot as shit and miserable, and there's pollen everywhere. With spring, you get a lot of pollen. You also get a lot of rain. But you know what else you get a lot of in Alabama? Tornadoes. Every season in Alabama is eat up with tornadoes, but spring is really where you're at the heat of it. I had to go a size down. You can see, every spring, you get a bunch of tornadoes, and a lot of people die. I think this might be the one. Near about April, so that's late spring. That's where you really hit your apex tornado season. For the record, that's a 15 millimeter socket. Righty-tighty, lefty, left, righty-tighty. See, in Alabama, there's a bunch of tornadoes every year. And there's really nothing you can do to stop them, and that kind of pisses me off. If you're from the South, there's a 70% chance you live in a trailer. When there are tornadoes, they tell you to leave your trailer immediately because they're made out of like press board and paper mache. So basically, if the wind gets up, it's just gonna like the foolish man who built his house upon the sand. It's recommended by OSHA that you build your house on the Lord Jesus Christ. This is actually the special Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do technique for when you take your truck to AutoZone and they over-tighten the absolute dog shit out of your oil plug, and you can't do that by hand. So you just gotta freaking judo kick that thing until it wants to break loose, just like that. So in summary, with spring in Alabama, spring entails pollen, heat, and inevitable death on some occasions for the unfortunate few. Yeah, we're going to go on ahead and move on to summer, which is the current season, so that's topical, that's the word. Summer's hot and it sucks, and it's extremely humid. Right now, it's about 800 degrees, and the humidity is about 400%. Your average human would have already drowned by this point, but I'm from Alabama. Everybody around here is from Alabama, and we're built different. People from the South will always say, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And that is actually really true. But don't get me wrong, it is still also the heat. It gets up to about 90 every day until, you know, the exceptional days where it gets up to about 100. Oh, money shot. Money shot. There we go. Hey now. That's a bullseye right there. I like that. The heat in the summer is inescapable if you're like me and you have I got two vehicles. I got a Chevy Colorado and a Honda CR-V. Chevy Colorado's air conditioning just barely works. The air conditioning in the Honda just doesn't work. I sweat about as much as any 7 people combined, so I gotta continuously drink water. But I don't, because self-care, that's for people without depression. In the summer, there are mosquitoes and wasps. If you leave an object sitting still outside for more than a week, there's probably a wasp nest in it. That's really almost all there is to say about summer. It's hot, it sucks, there's the occasional tornado, there's ants everywhere. So now we're going to move on to fall. The one good season in Alabama. You know, the leaves come all these beautiful colors and it looks gorgeous. See, Alabama doesn't work like that. The first leaves that begin to turn brown are usually poplar trees, and then they're shortly followed by maple trees. And maple trees usually look the best because they've turned this beautiful deep red color. And then it goes to, you know, all your oak trees and stuff. And that's a slow process. And then every other tree in Alabama is a damn pine tree, and they don't turn brown. Ooh, deer season begins. Ooh, that's a good time of year. People say that the beginning of autumn is September. That is not true. Like midway through October, it finally gets to cool down. September is just August's sweaty backpack. The weather in autumn is really nice. I mean, autumn in Alabama is, it's like, that's a spicy meatball. Usually you're looking at about 60 to 75 in the day. 75 is really hot for autumn, but this is Alabama, so we get there. I'm being eaten alive by mosquitoes. I'm seeing like 20 of them. Oh, it's also football season, so roll tide, pal. Autumn in Alabama is perfect, but there's one kicker. Autumn in Alabama lasts 3 days. Then it's winter. It used to get really cold in Alabama, and now it just doesn't. It just stays in the 60s and 70s and just rains. See, this last year, 2020, which is already a terrible year, I was like, hey, these seasons, they've been kind of trash. But if I get some snow this year, I'll call that a victory. I regret what I said greatly. We had an ice storm, not a snowstorm. It incorporated some snow, but it was mostly ice. That lasted about 5 days. Everybody's power went out, including mine. We got really lucky and we had a propane heater. We stayed relatively less than miserable, but it still wasn't fun. I also learned that a phone can get so cold that it won't charge anymore. That's about 9 degrees Fahrenheit for a Samsung Galaxy S8 left in a 2004 Chevy Colorado for about 45 minutes. Winter to everywhere else is like, there's always snow on the ground, it's nice, everybody gets to wear their sweaters. In Alabama, it just rains. It's cold, but not cold enough for it to be nice. I mean, really, it has got to stop dripping pretty soon. What if I give you a little belly rub? Would you like that? Would that give me another 100,000 miles if I do this right here? I do that thing you like. When you live in Alabama, it's just a good rule of thumb to say that every season is going to have tornadoes, because every season is going to have tornadoes. On November 1st, a couple years ago, I woke up, tornado sirens. One time about a decade ago, Christmas Eve, tornado watch. After a while, it just gets to the point where you just don't pay attention to the tornado sirens anymore. Pro tip with TrentoniousMaximus is going to cost you $0. A flash flood warning means that it's going to rain for a little bit kinda hard. Yeah, your phone goes nuts. It's because it's going to rain. Everybody panic. A tornado watch just means that the conditions for a tornado are favorable. That does not mean that there is one. It just means that if there was going to be one, it would be in these conditions. A tornado warning means real shit. There is one. Get your ass in the house. Fun fact, we have a school bus buried in the ground. That's our storm cellar. Bow before me, peasants. Oh yeah, here comes the fun part. Getting the oil filter. Oh, they put a K&M oil filter on my truck. See, I'm a Fram guy. See, oil filters are a lot of fun because they like to drop out all at once. Oh, we're gushing. Oh, we're gushing. You wanna come out? I can see this stuff getting on my nice George brand Walmart jeans. Another thing about Alabama weather, the jeans are just acceptable for all seasons. Oh, there we go. There it is. Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah. Look at that right there. That's full synthetic. Oh, God. Snap back to reality. Whoops, there goes gravity. Mom spaghetti. That smells like performance. Always use full synthetic oil because that stuff will pay for itself. Costs a little more than your regular old cheapo oil, but whose truck has 300,000 miles? I'm gonna go ahead and get on here and put my plug back in. During the spring, I have no idea what you're supposed to wear to date. I guess you just wear Easter clothes the whole season, but frankly, I ain't about that life. I'm not down with dressing like somebody who rolls up in a pair of loafers and raids Old Navy clearance. These are Walmart brand Interceptor combat boots. Are like $30, and frankly, they suck. It's important that whenever you go to put a new oil filter in your vehicle, what you need to do is you take your oil filter, you dip your index finger just a little bit in your oil, and you take some of that oil and you rub it around this rubber O-ring here. It's going to create a seal. It's going to last for a long time. And it's not going to allow the oil to leak around your filter. You ready to go, boy? You look like you've been ready to go for a long time. Then get up in there. God dang. Whenever you tighten on your oil filter, you always want to get it just about as tight as your hand can get it, because you're only going to make it harder for yourself trying to get it back off whenever you really super tighten it. Just enough where you're like, yeah, it's pretty That's goddamn snug right there. You do, however, want to get your oil plug pretty tight. I want to get it right about there, just snug enough where it's not going back out, but to where I don't have to get down here and Jeet Kune Do kick it like Spike Spiegel. All right, so I think it's time to put the oil in. I got this, what is that, Valvoline. That is the full synthetic extended protection. That is 10 times stronger against oil breakdown versus industry standards. So the industry standards actually kind of sucking it up right now because this stuff is like 25 bucks. I'm gonna back up here now. I'm gonna lie to you. Maybe it's misogyny, maybe it's malice. Maybe it's Maybelline. Here comes the fun part. See, I don't actually know where my funnel is, so I've just taken a water bottle and I'm going to use that. We partake in a little tomfoolery around here. For anybody who lives in the Russellville area, go to Frosty Inn and order a caramel milkshake. That is exactly what this smells like. I forgot that this was a video about weather, so I'm going to have a guest circle around to that now. During the fall, you can wear flannels. According to Seth McLemore in the 2015 Phil Campbell High School yearbook, they have all the warmth of a jacket with all the comfort of a lumberjack or something like that. If Carson's mom comments on this video and tries to insinuate that I'm homosexual, I'll make a video on just the Colorado, and you got my word on that. I don't know what the deal is, but Carson's mom is just fully and irrevocably convinced that I'm gay. For the record, I'm not gay. Putting my Koodle nugget back in. So anyway, that's me, TrentoniousMaximus. That was kind of a video about the weather. I don't know. We haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks. I gotta do something. I'm actually gonna edit this video because I got my I've gotten my computer fixed so I can edit a couple videos now. So this is gonna be my dry run.